Beloved, I want you to remember this truth: your circumstances do not define you. What you see right now in your life is only a reflection of old thoughts, old patterns, and old beliefs. It is not the ultimate reality. The universe responds not to your conditions, but to your inner state of being. When you act as if circumstances don't matter, you align yourself with the greater flow of life, and miracles begin to unfold. Circumstances are temporary, and yet when we are in the middle of them, they can feel like they will last forever. We look at the bills on the table, the challenges in our relationships, or the disappointments at work, and we think, this is my life, and this is who I am. But the truth is, every circumstance is like a cloud passing through the sky. It may linger, it may feel heavy, but eventually it will drift away. What remains constant is not the condition, but the self that is observing it, shaping it, and moving beyond it. Life is always changing. Seasons come and go, storms rise and fall, and the sun always finds its way back into the sky. Your circumstances are no different. They are only temporary expressions of energy born from old thoughts, past choices, and yesterday's patterns. They are not who you are. They are not permanent labels on your life. They are simply experiences, here to be acknowledged, learned from, and released. When you stop identifying yourself with your circumstances, you begin to step into the deeper truth of your being. The truth that you are unlimited, powerful, and capable of creating new experiences at any moment. Think back to a time in your life when you felt trapped in a situation. Maybe it was financial stress, heartbreak, or a moment when you couldn't see a way forward. At that time, it felt so heavy, so real, and perhaps even endless. But look at yourself now. You survived it. You moved past it. What felt like the end of the world turned into a stepping stone. What seemed unbearable eventually gave way to healing, growth, and new beginnings. That memory itself is proof that circumstances are never fixed. They change, they evolve, and they dissolve when you allow them to. It is not the circumstance that defines you, but how you respond to it. If you believe the difficulty is permanent, you give away your power. But if you understand that it is only temporary, you free yourself to rise above it. This is why it is so important to shift your focus inward rather than outward. Your outer life is like a movie screen, projecting the film that is playing in your mind. If you want to change the story, you must change the script within you. That is where true transformation begins, not by fighting circumstances, but by creating new beliefs, new visions, and new expectations that will eventually reshape the outer world. When you remind yourself that circumstances are temporary, you reclaim your ability to dream beyond them. You no longer feel stuck in the illusion of permanence. Instead, you begin to act from the place of possibility. You say to yourself, this is what I see now, but it is not all that is possible for me. That shift alone creates space for new doors to open. Opportunities come, solutions appear, and miracles unfold when you no longer chain yourself to what is in front of you. It is also important to remember that circumstances are often teachers. They arrive in your life to show you what needs healing, where you need growth, or what you must release. If you meet them with resistance, they may seem heavier and last longer. But if you meet them with acceptance, curiosity, and the knowing that they are temporary, you can learn the lesson and move through them with greater ease. Even the most painful situations often carry seeds of wisdom. When you shift your perspective, you can begin to see them not as punishments, but as stepping stones toward your highest good. The beauty of life is that change is always possible. You are never truly stuck. Even if the circumstance feels overwhelming right now, even if you can't see the way forward, trust that movement is happening. Energy never stays stagnant. Just as rivers flow and seasons shift, your life is designed to evolve. When you hold on to the belief that circumstances are temporary, you keep yourself open to the natural flow of change. You do not lock yourself in fear or despair. Instead, you align with hope, resilience, and possibility. So, in the moments when life feels heavy, remind yourself, this is not forever. This is a passing season, not the whole story. You are greater than any condition. Your power lies not in controlling the temporary, but in nurturing the eternal part of yourself. The love, the faith, the creativity, and the light that never fade. As you lean into that truth, circumstances lose their power over you, and you begin to shape a reality that reflects the brilliance of who you really are. Your inner world creates the outer world, and this is one of the most powerful truths you can ever embrace. Everything you see around you is a reflection of what has been cultivated within you over time. Your beliefs, your thoughts, your emotions, and the stories you tell yourself every day form the foundation upon which your reality is built. The world does not shape you as much as you shape it. What you consistently hold in your mind and heart eventually takes form in your external life. When you wake up each day with a mind full of worry, fear, and doubt, you are projecting that energy into the world, and the world responds accordingly. You may notice more obstacles, more difficulties, and more limitations. But when you choose to carry faith, love, and trust within you, suddenly opportunities reveal themselves, people respond differently, and life flows with more ease. The inner shift always precedes the outer change. This is why transformation begins with you, not with the circumstances you wish to alter. Think about a person who carries a belief that they are unworthy of love. No matter how much affection or kindness others show them, they will find reasons to doubt it, to push it away, or to sabotage it. Why? Because their inner world does not match the outer blessing being offered. On the other hand, when someone carries a deep belief that they are deserving of love, they naturally attract nurturing relationships and allow love to stay in their life. The difference is not luck. The difference is the state of the inner world. Your mind is like a garden. Whatever seeds you plant, whether they are seeds of abundance, peace, or joy, or seeds of lack, fear, and resentment, will eventually grow. The outer world is simply the harvest of those seeds. You cannot expect roses if you plant weeds, and you cannot expect joy if you continually water thoughts of sadness and defeat. This is not about denying reality, but about choosing what kind of reality you want to create moving forward. Every thought is a choice. Every emotion is energy. And with every choice, you are shaping the experiences that life mirrors back to you. When you take responsibility for your inner state, you reclaim your power. Instead of blaming circumstances, you begin to ask yourself, what am I holding within me that is being reflected in this experience? What belief, what fear, or what pattern do I need to release? These questions shift you from being a victim of life to being a conscious creator of it. The more you align your inner world with love, gratitude, and possibility, the more your outer life reflects beauty, harmony, and abundance. Consider the times when you were truly joyful inside. Perhaps you were in love, or you had a moment of deep gratitude. In those times, didn't life seem brighter? Didn't people seem kinder, and everything seemed to fall into place more easily? That was not a coincidence. That was your inner vibration shaping the way you experience the world. When you carry joy, the world appears joyful. When you carry peace, the world appears peaceful. When you carry abundance, opportunities seem to flow naturally. This is why practices like affirmations, visualization, and meditation are so powerful. They train the inner world to hold the vibration of what you want so that life can match it. If you repeat to yourself daily, I am worthy of success. I am abundant. I am loved. You begin to feel those truths within. And when you feel them, you send that energy out, and life reflects it back in countless ways. The outer world cannot resist the power of a strong inner belief. Over time, life must rearrange itself to match the energy you hold inside. Even if things do not change overnight, persistence in cultivating the inner world always leads to outer transformation. The key is consistency. You must tend to your inner garden daily, nurturing the thoughts and feelings that align with the life you desire. So remember, the world outside of you is not fixed. It is fluid, it is malleable, and it is constantly responding to the song you are singing within yourself. When you fill your inner world with love, faith, and vision, the outer world cannot help but reflect that beauty back to you. You are not powerless. You are the artist, and life is your canvas. The brush is in your hand, and what you choose to paint inside will eventually become the masterpiece you see outside. Shift from reaction to creation, and your entire life begins to transform. Most people live in a cycle of reaction. They wake up, look at their circumstances, and immediately allow those circumstances to dictate how they feel. If the day begins with good news, they feel hopeful. If the day begins with difficulty, they feel defeated. In this way, their emotions, their decisions, and even their sense of identity are all controlled by what is happening outside of them. But life was never meant to be lived in constant reaction. You were born to create, to shape, and to direct your life from the inside out. Reaction is passive. It keeps you trapped in the past. Every time you react to a circumstance, you are giving your power away to something outside yourself. You are saying, "This condition decides how I feel. This situation decides who I am today." But creation is active, intentional, and empowering. Creation means you decide who you are before the circumstance appears. You create your state of being, and then the circumstances must eventually reflect it. This is the path of mastery. Imagine you are driving a car and only steering in response to the bumps in the road. You would always feel out of control. That is what reaction looks like. Your hands are off the wheel of your life. Creation, on the other hand, is when you set your destination, take the wheel, and guide yourself toward where you want to be, regardless of what bumps or detours appear. When you live as a creator, you no longer wait for life to prove something to you before you feel good. You decide to feel good. You choose to think empowering thoughts. And life eventually mirrors that choice. The difference between reaction and creation is where you place your attention. Reaction keeps your attention locked on what is, while creation places your attention on what can be. When you are in reaction, you are replaying old energy, old beliefs, and old stories. But when you move into creation, you open yourself to new possibilities. You become the author of your own script instead of an actor repeating someone else's lines. Think of a person who has faced financial struggle. In reaction, they may say, "I can't feel secure until I see more money in my account." They wait and they worry, and their sense of peace is entirely tied to an outside condition. But in creation, that same person begins to cultivate thoughts like, "I am abundant. Opportunities are everywhere. My life is opening up." They begin to act from a place of faith, not lack. Over time, their actions, energy, and choices shift. They take new opportunities, they draw new people, and eventually the money flows. The outer change follows the inner choice to create rather than react. When you live in reaction, you are like a leaf being blown by the wind. When you live in creation, you are the wind itself. You begin to set the tone of your life through your words, your intentions, and your vibration. This doesn't mean you deny reality. It means you don't allow reality to control your spirit. Yes, challenges will still come. Yes, difficulties may appear, but instead of reacting with fear, you choose to respond with creativity, with faith, and with vision. That shift in energy is what allows you to move forward instead of staying stuck. It takes practice to shift from reaction to creation, because the mind has been conditioned for years to respond to circumstances. But every moment is an opportunity to choose again. When you catch yourself reacting, pause, breathe, and ask, what do I want to create right now? Who do I want to be in this moment? That simple pause interrupts the old cycle and opens the door to something new. Over time, as you practice creation, you begin to notice that life feels more stable, more peaceful, and more fulfilling. You are no longer swayed by every event. You are anchored in your inner power. And from that power, you begin to build a reality that reflects your highest self. This is the true path of freedom, to live as a creator, not a reactor. Life is no longer something happening to you. It becomes something flowing through you and from you. So let go of reaction. Stop waiting for conditions to determine your joy. Begin each day by creating your inner state. Decide who you are, what you stand for, and how you choose to feel, regardless of circumstances. When you do, you step into the flow of creation, and from that place you become unstoppable. Embrace the power of as if, and you will unlock one of the greatest secrets to transformation. Acting as if is not about pretending or lying to yourself. It is about stepping into the vibration of the life you desire before it fully arrives. It is about aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the reality you wish to create instead of the circumstances you currently see. When you live as if, you send a clear signal to the universe. I am ready, I am open, and I am already living in the truth of my vision. So many people hold themselves back because they wait for the outer evidence to give them permission to feel abundant, loved, successful, or free. They say, "Want and I get the promotion, then I'll feel confident. When the right relationship arrives, then I'll feel loved. When the money comes, then I'll feel secure." But this way of living keeps the dream forever out of reach. Why? Because life mirrors the energy you are carrying inside. If you wait for the outer condition before you allow yourself to feel it, you are always reacting instead of creating. But when you act as if it is already yours, you step into creation. You become the cause and life becomes the effect. Think of a child playing pretend. That child doesn't wait to grow up before imagining they are an astronaut, a teacher, or a hero. They put on the costume, they play the role, and they feel it fully in their heart. In that moment, their imagination makes it real. As adults, we forget that this power lives inside us. When you walk through life carrying the energy of your vision, you are wearing the spiritual costume of your future self. You are stepping into the reality of your dream before it has fully taken form, and by doing so, you call it to you more quickly. For example, if you desire abundance, begin to live as if abundance is already a part of you. This doesn't mean reckless spending. It means carrying the mindset of someone who is already prosperous. You might walk with greater confidence. You might treat yourself with more dignity. You might give thanks for the money already in your life, no matter how small. That energy of gratitude and worthiness attracts more opportunities for abundance to flow in. If you desire love, live as if you are already deeply loved. Show yourself the kindness, the respect, and the attention you would want from a partner. Smile at yourself in the mirror, celebrate your own presence, and open your heart with the same warmth you wish to receive. When you embody love from within, you naturally attract relationships that reflect that love back to you. The power of as if lies in vibration. Every thought and feeling carries energy. The universe does not respond to what you say you want. It responds to the vibration you live in. If you live in lack, waiting and hoping, you attract more waiting. If you live as if you are already blessed, your vibration calls in experiences that match that blessing. You become a magnet for the very things you desire. At first, it may feel strange to act as if. Your current circumstances may scream the opposite. But remember, circumstances are temporary, and they do not define your truth. Acting as if is how you bridge the gap between what you see and what you desire. It is how you shift your energy from lack to fulfillment, from fear to faith, from waiting to receiving. Every great achievement, every transformation, begins with someone daring to live as if it were already true. Athletes visualize winning before the game begins. Leaders carry the energy of success before anyone believes in them. Visionaries see a future no one else can see and live into it until it becomes reality. You have that same power within you. So start today. Ask yourself, if my dream, how would I walk? How would I speak? How would I feel? Then begin to embody that version of yourself now. Even in small ways, every step you take brings your vision closer. Life cannot resist the energy of alignment. It must bend, it must shift, it must rise to meet the vibration you are living. Embrace the power of as if, live from your vision, not your limitation. Feel the reality of your dream within you, and watch as the outer world rearranges itself to reflect your inner truth. You are not waiting for the future. You are creating it now, moment by moment, with the energy you choose to embody. Release fear and doubt, because they are the greatest thieves of your joy, your peace, and your potential. Fear and doubt whisper to you that you are not enough, that you cannot have what you desire, that life is against you. They create illusions that feel so heavy and real, but they are only shadows in the mind. Fear projects a painful future that hasn't even happened yet. And doubt questions your worth and your ability to rise. But when you look deeper, you realize that fear and doubt are not truths. They are habits of thought, and habits can always be changed. Every time you allow fear and doubt to dominate your inner world, you close the door to possibility. You stop yourself before life even has a chance to bless you. Fear tells you, what if you fail? Doubt says, what if you're not good enough? And without realizing it, you shrink back, you play small, and you settle for less than what you deserve. But here's the secret: the future does not belong to fear. The future belongs to faith, to courage, and to the soul that dares to believe in something greater. When you release fear and doubt, you open yourself to the infinite intelligence of life. You align with the energy that is always guiding you, supporting you, and carrying you forward. Life has never abandoned you. The universe has never withheld its goodness. It is only fear and doubt that block the flow, like clouds covering the sun. But the sun is always there, waiting to shine the moment the clouds drift away. Think about how many times in your past you were afraid of something that never actually happened. You worried, you lost sleep, you doubted yourself, and yet life worked out in ways you never imagined. That is the nature of fear. It exaggerates, it paints worst-case scenarios that almost never unfold. And yet in the moment, it feels so convincing. The only way to break free is to recognize fear for what it is, a trick of the mind. It has no true power unless you feed it with your attention. Doubt works the same way. It convinces you to question your gifts, your dreams, and your own inner wisdom. But doubt is only a reflection of old conditioning, voices you may have heard long ago that told you you weren't enough. Those voices were wrong. You were born worthy. You were born capable. You were born with everything you need to create the life your heart desires. The moment you begin to release doubt, You begin to remember your true strength. So how do you release fear and doubt? You release them by replacing them. Nature abhors a vacuum. When you let go of fearful thoughts, you must fill the space with faith-filled ones. When you stop repeating doubts, you must begin repeating affirmations of power, love, and possibility. Each time fear arises, remind yourself, I am safe, I am it, and all is well. Each time doubt arises, declare, I am enough, I am capable, and my dreams are unfolding in perfect timing. The more you practice this shift, the weaker fear and doubt become, until eventually they lose their grip on you. Another way to release fear and doubt is to take action in spite of them. Fear hates movement. Doubt cannot survive when you step forward in courage. Every small step you take toward your dream weakens their hold. You begin to see evidence that life supports you, that doors open when you move forward, that strength rises when you need it. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is choosing to move even while fear is present. And with each step, the fear fades, the doubt dissolves, and your confidence grows. Remember this, fear and doubt live in the mind, but love and faith live in the heart. The heart always knows the way. When you quiet the noise of fear and doubt and listen to your inner wisdom, you will always be guided to what is right for you. Trust the whispers of your soul more than the shouts of fear. Trust the gentle nudge of faith more than the heavy weight of doubt. Releasing fear and doubt is not a one-time event, it is a daily practice. Each day, you choose again to turn your attention toward faith, love, and trust. Each day, you remind yourself that fear is illusion and doubt is a lie. Each day, you strengthen the truth that you are safe, guided, worthy, and powerful. Over time, fear and doubt lose their place in your life, and you step fully into your role as a creator of your reality. So breathe deeply right now and say to yourself, I release fear. I release doubt. They have no power over me. I live in faith. I live in love. I live in trust. Let these words sink in. Let them become your new truth. And as you embody them, watch how life responds. New doors open, opportunities flow, and peace fills your heart. For when fear and doubt are gone, only love remains. And love is the energy that creates miracles. Live from faith, not from facts. And you will discover a freedom that circumstances can never give you. Facts are temporary, but faith is eternal. Facts are what you see in this moment. The numbers in your bank account, the diagnosis from a doctor, the current state of your relationships. Faith, however, goes beyond the evidence of the senses. Faith looks beyond appearances and holds onto the truth of what is possible. When you choose to live from faith, you rise above limitation and open yourself to the unlimited. Facts may say, you are struggling financially, but faith whispers, you are abundant, and opportunities are on their way. Facts may say, your heart is broken, but faith reminds you, love is infinite, and healing is already happening within you. Facts may say, you cannot change, but faith declares, you are transforming in ways you cannot yet see. This is the power of faith. It does not deny the facts, but it refuses to be controlled by them. Living from facts alone keeps you stuck in what is. It ties your emotions, your decisions, and your sense of identity to temporary conditions. You wake up, you see the facts, and you allow them to dictate your energy for the day. But when you live from faith, you begin to hold a vision higher than the facts. You anchor yourself in possibility. You allow yourself to dream, to hope, and to trust that life is working behind the scenes in your favor. This is not delusion, it is creation. For everything that has ever manifested in this world began first as an unseen possibility, held by faith. Think of the inventions, the breakthroughs, the great works of art, and the acts of courage that have changed history. None of them came from facts. The facts of the time may have said it was impossible, unrealistic, or foolish. But someone chose to believe in what could be rather than what was. They lived from faith, and because of it, they created new facts for the rest of the world. Faith always precedes transformation. When you live from faith, you shift the vibration of your inner world. Instead of saying, "I will feel secure when I see the evidence," you say, "I choose to feel secure now," and the evidence will follow. Instead of saying, "I will believe when life proves it to me," you say, "I believe now," and life will rise to meet my belief. That inner shift creates a powerful signal that the universe cannot ignore. Over time, the outer facts rearrange themselves to match your inner conviction. But faith is not passive. Faith is active. It is not just believing. It is living as if what you desire is already true. Faith walks with confidence even when the path is unclear. Faith speaks words of blessing even when facts seem heavy. Faith takes small steps forward even when there is no guarantee. Each act of faith tells the universe, "I trust, I am ready. I know life supports me." And with that energy, miracles begin to unfold. Of course, facts will try to pull you back. The world will show you limitations, and fear will whisper reasons to doubt. But this is where your practice becomes powerful. Living from faith means choosing your inner truth again and again, even when the facts seem louder. It means reminding yourself, facts are temporary, but my vision is eternal. This condition may be here now, but it is not the final word. With each choice, you strengthen your faith, and little by little, the facts begin to change. Living from faith also brings peace. When you are tied to facts, your peace rises and falls with conditions. But when you are anchored in faith, you find stability even in uncertainty. You can walk through challenges with grace, knowing that they are temporary and that something greater is unfolding. Faith gives you the courage to keep going, the patience to trust the timing, and the strength to see beyond appearances. So today, let your faith lead you. Acknowledge the facts, but don't bow to them. Let your vision, your trust, and your belief carry more weight than what your eyes can see. Say to yourself, "I choose faith over fear. I choose trust over doubt. I choose to live from the truth of my soul, not the limitations of circumstances." When you live from faith, the facts must eventually shift. Life always mirrors the energy you carry within. Hold on to faith, live in it, breathe, act from it, and you will watch as new facts, beautiful, abundant, and aligned with your dreams, begin to replace the old ones. That is the power of faith.